What's going on once again, guys? This is the Club of the Man, 1993, here live for a second time tonight, as I am here live for my live review of the second edition of Tuesday Night NXT. That's right, this is again the second show of NXT since NXT moved to Tuesday nights last week. It took place once again, as always, at the Capitol Wrestling Center somewhere in Florida. There's still no word yet on the name of the next NXT takeover, when it will take place. My guess is probably sometime in June, as I'm assuming. So of course we'll see, if that happens or not, and what the theme will be. Again, I like that the past couple takeovers they've been doing the themes again, not just doing NXT takeover 30 or 31 and just that bland stuff. But yeah, we'll see, what they come up with, of course, the next time, and go from there. This week's episode, we had the return of Kyle O'Reilly. First time we've seen him since his match against Adam Cole at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver Night 2. We had the in-ring debut of Saray, and a few other things that happened on the show. I'll say it was about the same level as last week's show, maybe just a smidge a little bit better. I like the show just a smidge a little bit better, which is why I gave it a slightly higher grade than I did last week's show. But, NXT just still is what it is. Again, I just still don't think we're not going to see, what NXT was before the pandemic until we get more of a live audience back and not this piped-in crowd. And some people get casted better, basically. Get rid of heel Giant Gargano in the way. But, that's for another discussion. But let's talk about the show real quick, because I'm going to do this show and then go to the moon to bed to Dreamland. Well, maybe an episode of Family Matters or something just to, wind me down or something. Who knows? But I am glad, of course, that I'm getting both my Raw and NXT reviews in tonight. As I said, tomorrow I will be getting my first dose of the shot. Again, and I just don't know how I'm going to feel, so if I'm up to it, I'll review AEW tomorrow night. If not, it'll have to wait. But we'll see what we can do. But at least I'm getting caught up here. And also, I have another portion of my Harry Potter Let's Play uploading to YouTube as well on my other computer. So those will both be up before my head hits the pillow tonight. Also, make sure as well, I forgot to hype up in my Raw review, to check out my WrestleMania Backlash 2021 card predictions. I am just trying to be able to roll with getting a good amount of views again on those match cards, as I haven't really gotten a good amount of views on a match card in quite a while. And it's a little bit disappointing. But, whatever. Let's talk about this show. Nobody in the live chat right now, probably not, because it's a little after midnight on a Tuesday night. I'm sure a lot of us are in bed, ready for school or for work in the morning. But, we'll still be up here talking wrestling. And, again, you can hop in whenever. So, let's talk about this show. First, we start off with the return of Kyle O'Reilly, who is happy that he thinks he has Adam Cole in his rearview mirror. Something's still telling me that this feud with Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly is not over. In life, he says we face constant struggles and challenges. He faced one of the toughest personal and physical tests of his life. And he says, I'm actually in a good mood though right now, because he's nowhere near Adam Cole, and he can move on. He can be and feel himself again, and he really likes it. He always realized that his work and abilities in this ring would speak for themselves. It's time. We asked though, what's next for Kyle O'Reilly? To succeed, he learned at TakeOver, you have to have a killer instinct, and he found that killer instinct at Stand and Deliver. And you have to be willing to go, extra mile, go in the extremes, and willing to pay the ultimate sacrifices. Do I continue to prove I am the guy here. Do I fight for the Workhorse title, North American title, or do I take this killer instinct and hunt down the most dominant force in NXT? He's got all the time in the world, which must be a reference. So he must be talking about Karrion Kross. So we're probably teasing, which, I mean, makes sense. Who else would it be at this point unless we did a rematch with Kross and Demon Balor, or if we did a triple threat with Kross, Cole, and O'Reilly. Because at some point, the NXT Championship is going to get involved in the Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole feud. Even though I don't think Karrion Kross is definitely not a transitional NXT champion. That is for sure. He never was meant to be in the first place when he had gotten injured after he won a title at TakeOver 30 last year. But Cameron Grimes came out. He offers an investment business proposition with Kyle O'Reilly. Jackets, Kyle Kyle sunglasses, and all this other stuff. He basically wants to start a business relationship with him. And then Kyle puts his shades on and says, "Hey, it is you." And it seems like he's a little interested at first. And then they just hype up the rest of the show. But then Kyle says he has a match tonight, and Grimes like, "I wonder who that could be." And Kyle's like, "Oh yeah, it's you," and punches him in the face basically, and sets up for a main event, which would eventually be Kyle O'Reilly and Cameron Grimes. Nice opening promo by Kyle. Again, like I said, he's really coming into his own. I still continue to put him over with that. Again, that victory he had over Cole at Stand and Deliver was definitely huge. One of the biggest wins of his career, definitely. Like I said, I feel like he right now, to me, he still is on his way. Still, has some things to, season out still, I feel. But like I said, he is, to me, the next candidate for the big baby face in NXT. Like the number one baby face in NXT. I don't know if he'll ever get to Daniel Bryan or Johnny Gargano face levels, as I compare to as one of the best baby faces within the past 10 years. But I think he definitely would put up a solid fight for it. And Cameron Grimes just stacking money, as he keeps saying. But he will face again Kyle O'Reilly in the main event later on in the show. We also get a video package of Saray getting ready to make her debut. Zoe Stark came in and wanted to be the first person to challenge her to a match over NXT, which is made official. Saray and Zoe Stark. We also have LA Knight talk about his recent history with Dexter Lumis, hyping up their match, and they had the match next, and I was definitely worried about this match because I've still been head scratching at the booking of LA Knight, having him win his debut, but then lose to Bronson Reed, and then get pinned kind of early in the Gauntlet Eliminator match at Stand and Deliver. But he gets the victory here, but there was some weird involvement again from Dexter Lumis and Indy Hartwell's teased romance. Not digging it. And, of course, the Way gets involved, and you know how much I dislike the Way. So, they drag Indy back and basically have a serious talk with her later on. Leon Ruff has a segment backstage. He enjoyed beating up Isaiah Swerve Scott last week, and the ball's in Swerve's court. It's his move, even though this feud should be over. Also moving on from it. Beth Phoenix interviewed Io Shirai. It's the first time we've heard from Io since she lost her women's title to Raquel Gonzalez at Stand and Deliver. She thanks Beth Phoenix for having her, and says, and for her and Beth puts her over for her great title reign, and how what happened at Stand and Deliver definitely hurt. But she has no energy currently, as she just ended a 300+ day title reign, and says how Raquel was definitely her biggest and toughest challenge. But when the time is right, she will get her rematch. For now, she wants to rest and have her body heal and come back and overcome the challenge and get a rematch. And then Frankie Monette's dog interrupts and she introduces herself, congratulates Io on a great reign, but says for now, since Io wants to take some time off, Frankie can fill her shoes. Of course, Io gets upset that Frankie wants to take her place. And then she says something in Japanese, and Beth's like, I don't understand. Io goes, I like cats. So, I guess I'm feeling at some point soon. I thought it would have been now, but I guess not yet. Io would be going to the main roster. Probably not yet, but besides a rematch, I think she's definitely going to be at some point having. I mean, even if it's on pay per view, which I kind of hope, we'll probably see a pay per view match between Io Shirai and Frankie Monet. So that should be pretty good when it happens. And we'll see what happens with that. Breezango took on the Grizzled Young Veterans in a solid tag match. The Grizzled Young Veterans won with the ticket to Mayhem. And then we have Indy Hartwell, who's attempted to be interviewed by Mackenzie Mitchell, but the Way come up and shut down the interview, saying we didn't approve of this. Bronson Reed steps up, basically says he wants another shot for the North American title, and then Austin Theory says the only way he will get that is if he defeats Austin Reed in a match. He's like, that's fine with him, which I was just like, yeah, that's literally no challenge, because Austin Theories is still not doing much for me at all. Obviously Johnny wasn't a big fan of that, but also Johnny's now being called Papa John, which is weird as hell. Cameron Grimes then vows to put Kyle O'Reilly back in the hospital, but he wants to show off the NFT to Spot. But then he was outbid by, of course, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and he got frustrated. Saray and Zoe Stark also had a very solid match for Saray's in-ring debut. Again, solid, but again, the problem I'm still having again is why on earth is Zoe Stark taking all these losses still? It still just drives me nuts. But afterwards, Toni Storm came out and beat down Zoe Stark and stared down Saray. But I don't know if that was to, tease a rematch between Storm and Stark from the pre-show of TakeOver Stand Deliver Night 1, or if it's just a tease a feud with Toni Storm and Saray. Either way, sounds good to me, especially the feud between Saray and Toni Storm would be pretty awesome, pretty dope. So we got that. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai have an interview. They put over Io as a great champion. But Raquel proved that she's an even better one. Dakota says we beat Io so bad she has to take a little vacation. And she hopes she enjoys that. And she mentions how Mercedes Martinez has been calling out Raquel Gonzalez. Mercedes wants a title match. And Dakota's like, well, guess what? I want a title. You want a title match? I wanted to study at Hogwarts, but unfortunately, we don't always get what we want. And Raquel says, line them up one by one. She's going to take them all down. Also, we have Candice LeRae trying to talk some sense into Indy Hartwell and tries to challenge Ember and Shotzi for the tag titles again, but then Hartwell abandons her to go look for Dexter Lumis. And as Candice goes to leave, she gets jumped by the women's tag champions Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart and gets beaten down. Kushida issued a Cruiserweight Championship Open Challenge, and Oni Lorcan ended up answering it. And I thought it was a pretty good match. It was definitely a strong, hard-hitting match between the two of them. Oni Lorcan definitely, underrated, even though he's probably no more than an NXT talent for his whole career. Can't deny that, when given right stuff, he could definitely put on a pretty real match. Again, I'd still, even though of course he's on the main roster and hopefully feuding for the world title soon, I'd still like to see a match with him and Cesaro. I think, both of them, one, look alike, and two, their styles, with, the more physical style, mesh well pretty good. So I wouldn't knock seeing a match between those two. Would be nice. Gargano's arguing again with Theory, and then Candice LeRae sits down there, all beat up from what happened before. Indy Hartwell interrupts before she can explain what happened with her and Loomis. Um, um, it's then announced that Gargano and Theory are getting a tag title shot thanks to Mr. Regal. But we still next. I don't know when that's going to be because next week we still have Theory versus Reed, and if Bronson wins, he gets another shot at Johnny's North American title. That should be whatever. Um, Imperium then squashed Everrise, but of course Drake Maverick and Killian Dane try getting involved because they have some recent beef with Imperium as well. Um, we also have a segment with Karrion Kross and Scarred staring a hole through Kyle O'Reilly as he makes his way to the ring, and we have a pretty solid main event between Kyle O'Reilly and Cameron Grimes. And it looks like that business inquiry is not going to be accepted by Kyle anytime soon, as he would go on to defeat Cameron Grimes with a flying knee to the back of Grimes' head. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. I thought we may see a return of Adam Cole, or even Bobby Fish returns, or Roderick Strong could have appeared again. I still feel like this weird booking is, again, they had Roderick resign last week, storyline wise. Not sure if it's gonna be for real or what the heck's going on. And again, Bobby Fish still has not been seen since he was injured, and of course the Undisputed Era split up. So thought someone would get involved, but nobody was. But still a solid show. Gave NXT a B- this week. And nobody's in the live chat, so that's gonna do it, guys. Again, I'm getting my first shot tomorrow. That's how I'm feeling. We'll see if I get to do an AEW review or not. We'll wait and see. So, guys, leave your thoughts down in the comments section below. Slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAirborne93. Also, be watching as I had uploaded while this stream was going on the third part of my Harry Potter Let's Play for Half-Blood Prince. We're going to continue to roll with that as well. And, yep, with that being said, guys, I'm checking out. I will see you guys all later. Until then, guys, have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.